I'm fine. I'm ready for my grief counselling. I emailed you Mariana's address. I don't know why you'd want it. I suppose you're going to start doing home visits now, like Dr. Dekker?
We wanted her address?
I don't remember wanting her address, but...
Okay. Couple things here.
Us.
That is not how you spell that name.
Doctor, if you don't want it, don't text me and ask for it. It's all right. I don't mind doing menial tasks for you. Someone has to do them.
Okay.
I think you'll find there's more than one question there, Doctor.
There wasn't.
Dr. Dekker did house calls?
Some mornings I come into work and still expect him to be here. Sometimes it feels like he actually is here, watching over me. We had a connection. It's gone now, though. Can't have a connection with the dead, can you? Not for too long, anyway.
That was not what we asked.
No. Maybe just home visits.
Yes, Dr. Dekker started doing home visits for Mariana. He said she couldn't concentrate properly in his office. I hope you're not thinking of doing the same thing. I need you right where I can see you.
Why?
Wow, we're getting so many clues for other people from other people.
Checks and balances, Doctor. Somebody needs to be watching the watchman, so to speak. Make sure you're helping, not hindering.
I caught myself there.
I wonder if, like, people with, like, actual, like, dissociative identity disorder have to, like, catch themselves sometimes. Like, they start to say, like, we or us, and...
I feel like they have to, because it's like... us? Who's... do you mean, like, me and you?
He probably did his fair share of helping and hindering. He was definitely helping in the beginning, but then seemed to lose sight of things.
Okay, that was about Dekker, not us, but... It works.
I think he was so overwhelmed by the patients he was getting. His curiosity just got the better of him. There was a definite turning point.
Okay, you're making this too easy.
Somewhere around the time Professor Alderby turned up, that seemed to unsettle him. And then we had a flood of extra weird patients. I think it was all too much for him. I think I misjudged him. I hope you deal with it better.
I think we're dealing with it okay right now.
There's just a lot of crazy flying around, Doctor. Don't catch any of it.
Okay. What about that connection she mentioned with Dekker?
Dr. Dekker asked me to have dinner with him for Valentine's. I refused, obviously, because you don't sleep where you eat or something like that. But it was flattering, especially with competition like Mariana around.
I think Jay is cuter than Mariana.
True. See, here's the thing about, like, between the two of them. Like, even based on everything we know about both of them, Jay is just better. Like, she Mariana seems to play games and seems to sort of just, like, try to manipulate the situation. Like, Jay just seems more real.
Yeah.
Like, more upfront about everything.
Yes. Do you want to ask about Nathan, or do you want to try and get more of this?
Let's try more of this. Competition?
Sorry, I didn't mean I was competing. I was happy Mariana was going out with him. I didn't want to be romantic with him. We had a stronger connection than that.
Okay, first off... Oh my god. Alright. Alright.
I have no idea what they did and when they did it. I'm happy to keep it that way too.
Okay.
Dr. Dekker and I shared some philosophy. We'd both read The Cult of the Kinetic Mind, and we agreed with a lot of what it said. Have you read that book, Doctor?
Is that a real book? On the Cult of the Kinetic Mind? I'm just looking to see if that's a real book.
Right.
Come on.
You know the fun thing?
Keyboard. Please.
I have to wonder. Do we have the same phone? I just got this like the other day.
Mine's smaller.
Okay. Yours might be like the Aristo or whatever it is. Wait, scroll down.
So yeah, this person says the book doesn't really exist as far as they can tell.
Oh, that's stuff on the occult.
Yeah.
So, in response, I have not read that book.
In Cult of the Kinetic Mind, the author suggests that everyone is capable of psychokinesis and that the cult leaders specifically had these powers that turned their followers into disciples. It's not a fun read, but if you're into psychology, it's a blast.
It sounds very interesting if it were real. This website seems to be the same thing. It's just
Followers and disciples have a very strong tie to their cult leaders, almost like they've been brainwashed. The author suggests that this is because they've witnessed some kind of psychokinesis, like pyrokinesis or telekinesis.
We're still missing 2 on a couple of these, but... have you talked a lot with Nathan?
I didn't really speak to Nathan that much at all, but I have this strange feeling that I know him really well. I can't quite put my finger on it.
so maybe his Lupidays are real. And
Wait. I'm confused.
what?
The response that she that she doesn't talk much with Nathan, but she feels like she knows him, got us the little notification that we just wrote notes down. That was the note that we wrote down. But we wrote it down after that statement about Nathan.
Maybe it was just late.
I'm gonna hope. Because I know telekinesis and pyrokinesis is sort of weird, but
Psychokinesis is the ability to change the physical world without actually touching it, just by using your mind. It's not just about bending spoons. It covers all sorts of things like telepathy, telekinesis, telesabalas. Shoot me, I'm a Kojak fan.
Never seen it.
I don't know what it is.
I don't know.
Trying to... Kojak?
Like I said, all those cool things are in Cult of the Kinetic Mind, apart from Kojak, obviously. If you ever get a patient who thinks they can change the world with just their mind, then duck, just in case they can. But seriously, do a whole load of shrinking and make them better. Whether you believe in psychokinesis or not, you'll need to figure out your approach with those that do.
So it almost sounds like Dekker got like super interested in like this psychokinesis and was like using it on his patients.
Right. I have to wonder.
What did you write?
Okay, so it's all leading us to Kojak. So we have...
Yeah, Kojak was some like it was in the 70s. I don't know anything about it beyond that.
Yeah, I've never heard of it.
I don't know everything. I know most. I was at home on my lonesome, Doctor, like I said before. I'm a bit of a bookworm. I'm one of those annoying, constantly self-improving, overachieving types. Takes one to know one, eh, Doctor?
Sure.
Read, but if you're
Okay.
into psychology,
I
it's
see.
a blast.
I see where we went off in a different direction. I asked about the followers versus the disciples, not the capability of psychokinesis.
Not the everyone is capable of it.
Right.
No, not at all in my experience. Dr. Dekker had an unusual number of patients who claimed psychokinesis. Either he'd been specifically looking for them or someone had been sending them.
That's not... Shut up.
Approach.
My approach?
How do you make people who think they have special powers better? Do you remain passive and support, encourage them, take them away?
That's a good question.
Yeah. Like, the thing that comes to my mind is, like, trying to find some kind of, like, non-harmful way to make them come to the conclusion themselves that they don't actually have powers.
Right.
And that's basically what therapy is. It's, like, helping people come to their own conclusions and figure themselves out.
Yeah, and I mean, that's part of why, I can't remember if I mentioned it in this series or not, or if it was just something we talked about outside, but that's part of why therapy doesn't work for me, and why it won't work for me, is because I grew up around a lot of my mom's friends are therapists and psychologists, and when I went to college, a lot of the teachers that I talked to the most were the ones who were actually outside of being teachers. They were therapists. Mm-hmm. And even from them, it's like, that's something that they said, we're not here to help you, we're here to help you help yourself. And it's a legal thing too, of like, it saves their ass, of like, if we as therapists give you advice and that advice is wrong or isn't what will help you, mm-hmm. legally, because we told you to do it, we're now accountable for it. So it's like, at that point, the fact that your therapist gave you the advice to do X, Y, and Z, if it goes wrong, you have legal basis of like suing them over it because X, Y, and Z went wrong and they said to do it. But I'm wondering if her... Here's the thing. Right now I can only think of like the one person with powers, or who claims to have powers, which is Bryce. Mm-hmm. I can't justifiably tell Bryce his powers are bad, or get him to a conclusion where he willingly gives up his powers of the extra hour, only because of like how much of a blessing it was to him when we first met him. But the issue with that is, in our last session with him, he said that the extra hour was like, he was going essentially like crazy with power. Mm-hmm. Like he was doing things that he was ashamed of doing in that extra hour. Because at this point, it's like, you either... It's like to be passive and let it happen is to sort of like turn a blind eye to it. But to just take them away is like, you're not finding a way around it. You're not like finding a way to adjust to it or help them adjust to it.
Mm-hmm. So everyone is capable of psychokinesis, not pyrokinesis. Everyone is capable of psychokinesis. She started with not in her experience. That almost sounds like she tried it.
Have you been taking notes in our session, Doctor? Perhaps you should check them?
Blah.
That was quite the insult there.
No, not at all in my...
So the thing that I asked about, that you brought up the Dr. Dekker house call thing too?
It's entirely possible that someone is targeting this practice with psychokinetic patients. To what end, I don't know. It's no coincidence that most psychokinetic patients are diagnosed as insane, or at least temporarily insane. It's a handy diagnosis if you're facing criminal prosecution, especially if it's for murder.
Okay.
How do you make people?
So are we supposed to answer that question, or?
Yeah, we're supposed to answer with one of those. One of those three. So it's either remain passive and support, take them away, or encourage them.
I don't think encouraging them is the right...
But
because you don't want to like dealing with someone who has like hallucinations or something. You don't want to be like yeah, that's totally real. Like indulge yourself in those.
Right. but again, for the person who thinks that those are a good thing, you don't want to necessarily take that good thing away from them. Mm-hmm. Like Bryce. Like, I guess passive in support is the only thing, because, like...
I guess. It's like, the closest to feeling like an okay answer, but, like...
It's still not an okay answer. It's okay enough, though.
Things could escalate. Building trust is one thing, but at what cost? That's not something I know about.
Yeah, but now we're out of things to talk to you about. Oh, wait, no we're not.
How's your grief, Jaya?
Because that's still in the orange. How's the grief?
Grief is such a strange word if you keep saying it. Grief, grief, grief. It sounds like somebody's being whipped. And you're going to ask me how I feel today?
Well, how do you feel?
You're overthinking things. You don't need to ask me that.
How do you feel today? Jaya?
Grief is a weird word. Maybe let's...
Oops. That was a strange thing to say, wasn't it? Whipped. Am I all whips and chains in the bedroom or dominant in the boardroom? Don't answer that, it's not a question. It's early days for a harassment suit yet, what with Ben's nervous shock already.
Okay. Alright. Well.
Yeah, so the rest of the things are just like green asterisks.
Hint, please.
How's Ben doing? What's going on with that?
How's Ben?
I think that's all settled now. We
Not
are
trying to sue
agreeing
us
to pay
anymore?
Ben £5,000 and he's agreeing not to say anything about what he saw.
What did Ben say?
He thought he saw a creature coming out of Dr. Dekker's mouth. But
I mean, it sounds
at
like
least that's
Dekker's
the
been
reason
messing
he's
with the
given for not
occult.
emptying the bins that night. Either way, it's not the kind of publicity that we need. Shiny, happy, sane people.
This is starting to feel quite Lovecraftian.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So back to Nathan, as per the agreement. What's your thoughts on psycho? That is not how you spell psycho. Psychokinesis.
I've got nothing to tell you. Sorry, drawing a blank.
He doesn't seem to. He's constantly trying to escape them.
I know, but
by burning things and such.
I've got nothing to tell you.
that is a thing to tell me. I'm exactly the person to tell that to. That was something from the last session.
Yeah, was that the murder weapon? I don't remember.
That's the issue with recording the way we do. It's just like, it's so infrequent that so much is forgotten by the time we get back together.
Yeah.
Same thing in like the Breath of the Wild.
Especially right now, though, because, like, it's been...
It's been some time.
I didn't notice Dr. Dekker had a paper spike. I haven't really seen more than a foot in front of me since Hannah died.
That's upsetting. I'm putting that at the end of the Jaya video just because it's so quick, but... Also... Okay, never mind. Okay... He's been our reference point a lot, so I think it's either Bryce or Mariana next.
I don't know. You've got the mouse.
Damn it, lady. Bryce. That's a nice shirt.